Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel, to you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And you see on the screen, it says, a brief history of lobsters and how they became seafood royalty. All right. Now, contrary to popular belief, lobsters aren't a delicacy. Lobsters aren't a fine food. Lobsters are an abomination. That should not be eaten, man. All right. And if we go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, starting at verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, them shall ye eat. Right? Lobsters doesn't have fins or scales, so you can't eat them. Now, when it says fins and scales, it has to have both. Because you'll see some fish with scales and no fins, or fins and no scales. You can't eat those fish. So, but if you see one with fish and scales, then it's edible. Verse 10, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, of any living thing which is in the waters, shall be an abomination unto you. Right? See, if you eat things from the water without fins and scales, it's an abomination. So shrimp, crab, lobsters, mussels, oysters, all that shit is off. That's not food. Just because you're able to cook it and season it, and it tastes good, doesn't make it a food. And our people go out of their way and spend extra money on these things, man. You spend extra money on shrimp and lobster, and it's an abomination. It's literally what the article said. Once considered the cockroaches of the sea. Right, that's what lobsters used to be considered. You spend extra money to eat roaches. These crustaceans have come a long way from their humble beginnings. During the 1700s, lobsters were so plentiful that they used to wash ashore in Massachusetts beaches in piles up to 2 feet high. Right now, they've been so over-harvested for food that you have to go out, half a mile into the ocean in order to go lobster hunting, man. Before, they'd just wash up on the shore. Now, you got to go out and go get them, man. Why? Because people keep eating them. They're not supposed to be eaten, man. And I bet you back then in the 1700s, that beach was clean as shit. The water, I should say. If you have so many lobsters on the shore, that means there wasn't enough junk in the ocean for it to eat up, so it kept coming closer to the shore. If you were to see a 2 foot pile high of lobsters, 2 foot high pile of lobsters today, I'm sure your mouth would be watering. No, that's through, man. That's off, man. And if you eat abominable foods, the Lord's going to destroy you. All right? Let me go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3. 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are. Right? And one of the ways you defile your temple, your body, is by eating abominable foods. This is why you see people that eat abominable foods have the worst health conditions. Diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Things of that nature, man. Why? Because it's meant, these things that people are eating, majority of our people are eating, aren't meant to be eaten. I remember I told this one lady, Amalekite lady, I don't eat pork. She's like, whoa, that's so uncommon for, so-called black people not to eat pork. She didn't say so-called black people, but still, you know the sentiment. It's known for people to fucking devour pork. It's fucking disgusting, man. But our people do it anyway. This is why our people are so destroyed. For a lack of knowledge, man. If you know better, you'll do better. Our people know not to eat pork. They still eat the shit. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Man, and that's a heavy thing, man, for the Lord to forget you and your children, man. Your whole bloodline destroyed because you forgotten the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because you wanted to eat this fucking abominable food, man. Lobsters were considered the poor man's chicken and primarily used for fertilizer or fed to prisoners and slaves. Right. And this is and our people think this is food, man. This shit is not food. It's degrading for you to pay extra money. You know, you take a girl out on a date and she wants fucking lobster. That's degrading. She wants fucking slave food. You know, some indentured servants even revolted against being forced to eat the meat, and the colony agreed that they would not be fed lobster meat no more than 3 times a week. Right. Even indentured servants had, you know, the right mindset to, you know, be like, no, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that shit, man. But our people, you know, you tell them lobster, and they'll line up around the block. Every time I drive by, you know, a so-called crab house, a seafood house, or a seafood shack, there's Jake walking in and out of that bitch. And it's also the nigga woman too, with weave and blue hair. That's all you see coming walking in and out of that place, man. And they be big too. You know, the people that walk in and out of these places be humongous. Why is that? Because they're eating things they're not supposed to be eating, which is this lobster, man. But you know, our people, they only learn the hard way. Let me jump over to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. Actually, yep, Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? He's spoiled because he's forgotten the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and it's destroyed him. It's destroyed us as a nation. Verse 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Right? Jake only learned the hard way, man. Our wickedness will reprove us. Because we'll see the correction from our wickedness. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken the Lord Yahweh thy power, and that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts. Right? It's an evil thing that the fear of the Lord is not on our people. Right? The fear of the Lord is not on our people, and look how destroyed our nation is, man. If only we feared the Lord, man. If only. And we didn't eat these abominable things, man. Go to the book of Job, chapter 35 and verse 6. If thou sinnest, what doest thou against him? Or if thy transgressions be multiplied, what doest thou unto him? If thou be righteous, what givest thou him? Or what receiveth he of thine hand? Thy wickedness may hurt as a man. Salaki, thy wickedness may hurt a man as thou art, and thy righteousness may profit the son of man. Right? You know, when we go off, it doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai doesn't lose anything, man. He really doesn't at the end of the day. He really doesn't need us. So, you know, as that scripture says, if thou sinnest, thy transgressors against thy own soul, roughly paraphrasing, man. But, you know, but our people, you know, they love this shit, man. They love to literally eat this shit, right? Because you are what you eat at the end of the day, man. And what did it say in the article? Once considered cockroaches of the sea, and now they're a delicacy, man. People pay, you know, $100 for a lobster dinner, steak and lobster, $100, man. That's wild. All right, but I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Karkadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, we'll say Shalom and Abad Babal.